Hey gang, welcome back. For those of you showing up for the first time, I am the Articulate Grunt. Welcome to my channel. Sorry for the absence of vids. Work has been crazy this week and wasn't able to get to them. So, let's get down to business since I'm here. Alright? Cool. Turns out David Bleckenhorn, who's the founder and president of the Institute for American Values, changed sides this week. No, he's still straight. But he went from his hardcore stance against gay rights, gay marriage, and recognition of rights and privileges to saying that the recognition of gay marriage, and specifically the rights of their children, whether naturally born or adopted, is a victory for basic fairness. His former allies are troubled but unimpressed by this change of venue. And, well, for you and me, for those of us watching this kind of thing, we'll have to see, does this become a major turning point in the battle over gay rights? Or is it just another little ripple in the pond that in time none of us will even notice? Moving on from there, though, the Pentagon and the Department of Defense has initiated a research program to see what would be necessary, what would be required to allow the entrance of women into combat arms, specifically the infantry and the armored corps. They expect the findings to be back this fall, and with positive findings, the possibility of the first female lieutenants entering the infantry officers' basic course as soon as late fall this year. As their findings come out and are available, I'll let you know what they are. Moving on from there, if you remember a couple of months back, there was a big hullabaloo in Afghanistan. There was a heightened level of activity and aggressiveness. There was some riots and protests because a number of Qurans, the Islamic holy text, were burned. An investigation was launched, and what it turned out to be was several Muslim, Islamic, inmates, insurgent and terrorists in prison were using the Qurans by writing in them, and in some people's opinion, thus desecrating them themselves, but were writing in them in order to pass messages to other inmates in prison. Well, it was discovered the copies that had been written in, the ones that were written in were gathered up and sent with other materials to be disposed of. So they went to the burn pit. This caused all the riotous ruckus. Now, in the proceedings, in the investigation, the fate, if you will, of 7 service members involved, possibly including one officer, because they haven't released a by name, by rank list of individuals yet. But the fate of 7 has been determined. Rather than receiving criminal charges, they're going to receive administrative punishment. Now, what this can be is anything from a bad soldier, you knew better, don't do it again, to a field grade Article 15. Now, for those of you that don't know what such things are, a field grade Article 15 is disciplinary action signed off by a general or full bird colonel. And if they're going that far, normally means the individual will commonly be reduced 2 ranks. So in the case of your regular Sergeant E5, will be busted down to an E3 Private First Class. You'll spend normally 2 months on extra duty, which by regulation, during that time frame, you are not required to be provided anything other than 4 hours of sleep a day, not necessarily at the same time, and basic minimum required time to eat and conduct personal cleanliness, personal hygiene, shower and such. And, like I said, you're on extra duty. And one of the other kickers is, during that time frame, you're at half pay. Now, while some are saying, this is too much, others are saying it's not enough, for those of you saying it's not enough, I want you to keep something else in mind too. Our Army is reducing down to the smallest it's been since 1940, which is when we started gearing up to enter World War II. 100,000 troops are being cut from the Army alone, which means, considering the Army's policy of you either get promoted and move up, or you get out, that these individuals are basically done. Their careers are over. Any kind of disciplinary action like that, especially something as high profile as the burning of the Korans, they're not going to make promotion, and their careers are over. They're going to be moved out. But we'll see how this develops and plays out with the other individuals still involved in the ongoing investigation, and I'll let you know as I hear more. Moving on to more lighthearted news, a restaurant owner in Massachusetts thought his employees were pulling a prank on him. He opened up a crate of fresh live lobsters that had been shipped to his restaurant, and there inside were 5 bright orange, looking like they'd already been cooked, lobsters. And then they started to move. As it turns out, rather than the normal lobster coloration, dark bluish green as it is, orange lobsters occur with 1 lobster out of every 10 million. Now, the chances of catching 5 in one lobster fishing expedition and that all 5 wind up in a crate shipped to the same restaurant are mildly astronomical, but it happened. Now, the restaurant owner decided that instead of cooking and serving said lobsters, they were going to live, but not just be released to possibly be caught again. He put them in some of his tanks in his restaurant on display to be a big crowd drawer, which they have. Apparently there is a movie being filmed in the local area, and the lobsters in his restaurant have drawn a larger crowd, more reservations, and a line to get in to see these lobsters than being able to watch the movie being filmed. Yeah. Now, Boston's New England Aquarium has also been in contact, and they want to get the lobsters for their aquarium, where they have already got a couple other oranges, as well as a bright blue lobster, which apparently occurs with 1 lobster in every 5 million, and they've got a super rare calico, which occurs in 1 lobster out of every 30 million. On a side note, there's also a scientific research facility that would like to get at least one of these bright orange lobsters so they can examine its genetics and everything and figure out what genetic abnormality causes this change in shell pigment. For the time being, though, the restaurant owner is keeping them. They're on display, and he's apparently even pulled one out so that kids could touch one of these bright orange specimens. That being said, well, that's going to be my episode for today. Leave me your comments down below on anything you've got thoughts about. Hit the like or dislike button. Subscribe up above if you'd like. And I'll catch you next time. Until then, take care of yourselves. Keep your head down. I am the Articulate Grunt. Bye.